What's up, YouTubers? I'm making a video on how to adjust the color on your CSY 2100 clone RGB to component video converter. This only really applies to the clone version. If you have the original one with the blue knobs, I'm not really sure if they're set up the same way or not. If anyone knows, they could certainly comment about it on the comments. If you see as we move in here, you'll see that I've labeled each of the knobs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So this is a photo of it, obviously. So when I'm telling you about the color adjustments, these are the numbers that correspond with each knob. Okay, so now we have our converter box open. I've heard folks say that you need to use like a particularly small screwdriver to adjust the knobs inside, or variable potentiometers, or variable resistors as I've heard them referred to as. To me they're just knobbies, I don't know. But yeah, the folks that say you have to use a small screwdriver, I haven't really found that to be the case. I use the same screwdriver that I use to open the box to make the adjustments. Maybe if you'll notice mine has a slightly blunted tip. Maybe if you have a super sharp screwdriver it might be a problem, but this one I've noticed does the job just fine. So I don't think you have to hunt around for anything smaller. Now, a couple things to know about this box if you haven't read anything. It only works if you're using a flat screen or a plasma LCD. Not all of those TVs will output a 240p signal. 240p meaning that there's 240 lines of vertical resolution. I haven't had that problem. I have a Panasonic Viera plasma, and it outputs 240p just fine. I haven't had any issues with that. But some folks have. If you're one of those folks, you might have to get a scaler or a line doubler, which isn't a bad idea anyway, because it makes it look so much less blocky and a lot better and smoother. Also, if you wanted to use a scanline generator like, say, the SLG HD, you'd need a line doubler anyway because it can't display properly with a 240p signal. So I run this. I have an iScan Pro, which is it used to be a top-of-the-line line doubler back in the early 2000s. It used to go for like $1,000 bucks, but now you can pick them up on eBay for 50. So if you're doing 240p, it's just the thing for you. So I run the SCART cable into this, and then the component into the iScan Pro, and then the output of the iScan Pro into the SLG HD to generate my scan lines. One thing I've noticed is you want to have the SCART cable firmly plugged in. I mean, obviously you don't want to jam it in there, but you want to firmly plug it in. Otherwise, I've had some tough to diagnose signal losses that have resulted. That I figured out once I jammed the cable in there, it was fine. So it was an odd thing, but I did get it figured out. So these are the knobbies. I'm going to put the screwdriver in there, and then wait for it to sit. Let it sink in. And then just turn gently, and you'll feel where it wants to stop. You don't want to, crank on it because you could break it, but they're not that fragile. You just have to pay attention to what you're doing when you're turning it, and then it's no problem. Really, the only way to adjust it is with it hooked up. I just wanted to show the technique because in the room where I'm going to be doing it, it's pretty dark, so I just wanted to show you what I was doing. And the screwdriver I was doing it with. Okay, so here we have Samurai Showdown 2. And if you just got your box new, chances are it looks a little bit like this. It's very, very green. And we're going to be fixing that by adjusting the knob number 3. But I wanted to point something out to you before we did that, which is knob number 6. Knob number 6 is so subtle, you might not notice it, but it is a fine green adjustment. And you'll notice when I go to turn it up here in just a moment, you might actually notice it get a little bit more greener. You might not, because on this camera I'm not sure if it's going to show, but I'm turning it up now, and now it's all the way up. You might overlook this because it's so subtle, but adjusting this knob is the one that will make your whites really pop when you're setting up the colors. So this is probably the last one you want to adjust. I would set it to the middle to start with, which is what I'm doing now, or middle-ish. It's kind of hard to tell on this thing, but first we're going to start off, like I said before, with knob number 3, and I'm going to show you the huge amount of difference this one makes. Right now it's turned all the way down to make it the most green, just so it would show up on camera. Now I'm going to turn it through the middle and all the way up. You'll see it gets pretty darn pink there. So we're going to back that back a little bit, kind of set it toward the middle. Now, knob number 1 makes it greener or more blue. So I'll show you what that looks like when you tweak it. So that's what that one does. And then knob number 2, I'm not really sure what it does, but I'm going to go ahead and tweak that one now. Did see a little jump in the image there, but I really can't tell what it's doing. And now I'm turning it back down again, all the way down. And since I can't tell what it's doing, I'm going to try to set it back toward the middle and leave it alone. So we adjusted number 3 already. Now number 4, turning it up makes it redder, and turning it down makes it more yellow. So I'm going to turn that one all the way up. That was pretty high in the first place. So now I'm going to turn it all the way back down. And you really can't tell much except for where the credits are. You'll see that it's a lot less red, it's more of an orange. Where it is now, I'm going to turn it up fast so you can see it change. And turn it back down fast. Being careful, I have my finger on the back of the screwdriver, so I'm still gently turning it. There it goes. There it goes back. So we'll go ahead and turn that up just a little bit toward the middle and get it situated. So now we're going to do knob number 6. Like I said, that one makes a big difference. Now number 5, again, it's another one, I don't know what it does. 2 and 5 are the total mysteries. The other ones, I might not have my terminology right, or you might disagree with my interpretation of the colors, but you'll get a general idea of what they do. But yeah, 2 and 5, no idea, dude. So I'm turning 5 all the way down. I don't really see it change. Now I'm turning it all the way back up. And nothing for me. So, but now I'm going to go ahead and tweak knob number 6. And that's with it turned all the way up. And now I'm going to turn it slightly back down. Oh, actually I'll turn it all the way down. And I'm going to slightly move it back up toward the middle. And you almost can't see it. But on certain screens it really showed a lot. Let me see if I can. Okay. So we have Ninja Masters going here. If you look over the right of this guy's shoulder here on the right, that fella right there. If you look at the detail in the red there, when I adjust the knob number 6, you should definitely notice a change. See how the detail really starts to show there? So like I said, in the past I noticed that it looked like it was getting greener and less green. Maybe it does something else, it's hard to say, but you'll notice as I turn it up that the detail in the background there just starts to disappear. And then as I turn it back down, it comes right back. Turn it back up again, and back down. Up, and down. Up, and down. And all the way down. Okay, so this is the stage where I first noticed what a difference it made. Knob number 6. So, let me go ahead and turn it. It's all the way up right now. You'll see that in the background where the fog is and the trees in the back, the silhouettes of the trees. Now I'm going to turn it down. You notice it goes more of a gray than a green. I'm going to turn it all the way back up. It definitely adds a little bit more of a green tinge to it. But I think what it might actually be is more like the color intensity. I think it's just because I noticed it on this stage that I thought it was green. But let me go ahead and tweak that up just a little bit toward the middle. And then leave it alone. Then we'll look at our green-red balance again. Two red, two green, just right in the middle. Not literally the middle, just, you know, what looks good to you. So that's two red. And then we'll poke at knob number 1 again. Two blue, two green. That looks good. And then 4. Probably a little too red. Definitely a little too yellow. So I'm going to move that up just about halfway and leave it there. And might not be perfect, but I think it looks pretty good. Let's compare it to my other box that I have over here that I already have set up. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the power on this one. It's going to get dark. And there's our image for my pre-adjusted box that I've tweaked a bunch, which I still think looks pretty good, even if I didn't actually know what the 6 knob did while I was adjusting it. So hopefully you'll find this video helpful, especially if you were apprehensive about opening up your box and twiddling the screws with it turned on. Most likely it won't kill you. One additional thing, I've noticed that blood seems particularly like a particularly good way to test for the intensity of the color on knob number 6. This is with it turned all the way down, and this is with it turned all the way up. So obviously we want something a little bit more of a happy medium. So we'll turn down just a tiny bit like that, and leave it and hope for the best. Oh yeah, let's go ahead and watch that Ninja Master's intro screen just because it's so damn awesome.